All right, welcome to another edition of the Strategist podcast here on the Coden. I'm Jonathan Starr. We're thankful to our sponsor today, Shock Safe and Lock, for making this possible. But we have an exciting story to tell. I'm here with Mr. Larry Brown, who is on an adventure. It's been years in the making.
Yes.
It's been a process that's worth documenting. And when it's all done, he'll probably be able to write a very interesting book about it. But we're still in the process of it. So first off, I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Well, thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to talk about the project. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, we're starting a family entertainment center here in Minot. It's Masquerades Family Entertainment Center. Where did the idea come from? Where did this start?
So, you're looking at years of R&D, research and development. I'm a native of New Orleans. That's my hometown. And it the idea of the skating, or should I say family entertainment center, came into play because I ref high school basketball.
Okay.
And Fridays or Saturdays when they have games, I kind of talk with the kids. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Oh, nothing. We're going to cruise the street, sit in the parking lot, blah, blah, blah. So I sat on it for about 2 years, and people were saying there's nothing to do. We don't want to, do bowling. Don't want to go to trampoline park. I said, A friend of mine said, you know what? We should roller skate. So some of them would go and rollerblade up and down Broadway, Oak Park, stuff like that. And I said, you know what? Maybe a roller skating rink should come back.
Right.
So I started doing work. I had a team of 5 behind me. We started doing some R&D, looking into what it take to bring a roller skating rink back to Minot. Now, I was here back in the days when they had the stadium.
Okay. Going way back.
Yes. Way back. I was stationed back in '97. But yeah. And so, I grew up roller skating, and a lot of this generation don't know anything about roller skating.
Right.
So, you're looking at 10, 12 years of nothing. So, just put pen to paper and started making calls and shooting emails out and doing some online searching, and so far I went from an idea to a development process, and then a very tangible idea. I'm like, this is doable.
Right. That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's neat when you're working on an idea. You put together a business plan or whatever your research and development, whatever that entails. Typically very grueling process.
Yes.
And suddenly you realize, you know what? We might be onto something here. This could actually go somewhere. Yes. So at what point did you realize that this was going to be a tangible idea? What was the tipping point, the launch point for you that you're like, you know what, I actually have something here?
Well, I did it multiple different ways. I did it a non-professional way. Just basically ask kids, hey, what do you think about roller skating?
Right.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Then I went to the parents. What do you think about roller skating? Oh, that'd be awesome.
Right.
So then I went and dug into the pockets and went and did a market survey. And that's what really convinced me after I got the market survey and saying that it could really be successful. Yeah. And so that started me on a journey of putting everything together. Lots of calls, a lot of late nights, a lot of long weekends, just to get the stuff together to present to a bank or investors. So,
right. So you're working on this journey. Where do you go from there? Is it something where you begin to put plans together, or is it something where, as far as like actual architectural plans, looking for space where this could be housed? Where do you go from there once you realize you have a tangible idea?
Well, that's an interesting and very good question. 90% of the roller skating rinks start from an existing building. Okay. So I take off on a Saturday and I ride around town and kind of see what's the flow of traffic, what buildings exist, what offices exist, and then go back. Tell my market research developer, hey, this is what I found, here's an address, they'll do what they do. No, that's not good. So then I go back, and we're talking 6-7 months I was doing this almost every weekend. Yeah. And finally, we just got the bright idea, say, hey, we're just going to have to build one. There's nothing that could handle it. So we're going to have to build it. And that went the grueling task of...
It's a whole different process right there.
Oh, my goodness. I got a lot of gray hairs, let me tell you.
Did it start out with those?
Yeah, no.
So that means it's going to be also a pretty big center when this is up and running, because, we got some decent-sized buildings. Obviously, there's probably many reasons why they wouldn't be suitable.
Well, there's a lot of pros and cons to some of it. There is an existing building that we were working on getting. For legal reasons, I really can't say. And if we go in negotiations, it could be another thing. But there's an existing building we're looking at, and that would have cut the project down by 4 months. We could have, in 6 months, we could have had a huge family entertainment center.
Yeah.
Since we don't, we got to go from scratch.
Right.
And you got to look at the flow of traffic, the amount of people in the area. I'm talking 20-mile radius.
Okay.
There's a lot of things to it.
Yeah.
So, and that's just the beginning factors.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
So, very interesting. So then you're just looking for acreage. So there's also a part of this process where you also began to look at the putting together the plans and all that. And this is stuff that's done. You have on paper plans. I think I saw you bring some in today.
Yes, I do. I have some right here.
Yeah. And you got a really nice logo on your shirt.
Yeah, these are my first edition logos.
Yeah.
We got some specialty things for that. But yeah, this is the first edition plans.
Okay. Very cool. Well, I think we can secure maybe a PDF copy or something. We can throw that in the YouTube link. But yeah, very cool because we have the first edition plan. So at what point were you like, hey, let's throw some money at the architects too? Because obviously this is not the thing that should be taken with this. This is not some fly-by-night thing. You don't just do this. You don't just say, we live in this e-commerce world where an online world where it's so easy to start a business these days. So easy. I can go for $120. I can get my business license. I can go to Wix.com. I can throw a website together. I can get an AI generated logo, and boom, I'm in business. Right? There's a lot of stuff you can do that's very simple, but this is not that.
This is not one.
This is something where we put years of research, idea thinking, research and development into it.
Yes.
We've talked with people. We've done market surveys.
Yes.
We've done a lot of work just to even get to this point.
Yes.
And somewhere along the line, we're going to invest with an architect to actually put together plans for this idea that we have.
Yes.
And so at what point was it like it's time to get some renderings?
So I got to answer that question, which is a good question. I got to take you back a little bit. So once I figured out that this is a possible thing and doing a market survey, I went to the local score, had a conversation with those folks over there. Then they set me up with the CDC.
Okay.
And Mr. Mark Lyman, excellent, very good man. He kind of got me on the right path of where I need to go. Mark
Lyman's a friend of the show. We had him on one of our first, or he's actually on our Minot Matters podcast with the Minot Chamber EDC.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I talked with Mark, and I went and took some CD's area CDC classes.
EDC, Minot Chamber EDC,
Anyway, did like a 6-week course with them, and introduced me to a lot of entrepreneurs like myself.
Absolutely.
And they brought in business people. And these big-time business people. So each time a business person would come in, we would have to pitch our idea.
Okay.
So I pitched my idea to a lot of these big business people.
That's neat.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Okay.
Great idea.
That's encouragement. Yeah.
Yes. But that's all it was. I said, no, it's not a great idea. It's an excellent idea.
Okay.
And so that's at that point, I dug into my pockets again, went to an architect and paid couple of $1,000s to get just an architectural mock-up. Yeah. And pitched it to an investor, which I have to say they want to be silent because that's where they operate. Yep. They loved it. They put in, right now I'm sitting at about $800,000.
Wow.
And they would invest more, but what they want to see is the city of Minot and the surrounding towns show the support, like this is what they want, this is what they love, either by a survey or by financial financial support.
Yep. And when you say city of Minot and surrounding towns, you're not talking about government, you're talking about the people.
I'm talking about the people, yes.
Yeah.
The government, that's a different animal. They don't like to invest in for-profit.
No, for sure. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm talking like Surrey, Burlington, Williston. Williston has nothing. Even some folks in Bismarck, all the little towns, Velva. Kenmare. The kids have nothing to do. And so the investor agreed with me. They gave, they started off with one number and then they added some more. Okay. And they said, well, we'd like to do more, but we're just scared that the city or the surrounding towns don't want it. If you can give us proof that this is what they want, then we'll put in a little more.
Okay. Very good.
And that's pretty much where we're at.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So there came a point when you started pitching investors that you're like, all right, we've got to get some architecture.
Well, let me correct you on that. I pitched a few investors that came to the EDC.
Right, yeah, you're exactly right. I was wrong. When you pitched business people, it's not even investors. You pitched business people at this class that you're doing with to the Chamber EDC.
Yes.
And so it's Startup Minot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Startup Minot, exactly. Which is a fantastic class. And so that's when you're like, all right, we need to get some renderings. So very cool. So now that kind of we've talked about kind of the process, the build up, what it took to get us to even the point that you're at, and you're probably even further beyond. But kind of the process that it took to get this business idea from an idea to actually something tangible, something that we're actually working on, where we have a logo, we have shirts, we have merch, we have architectural renderings and all that. So what is it? If we've talked about everything around it, what is the actual idea?
So the actual idea is Minot's first family entertainment center. And when I say family, there are family entertainment centers in town. You got the Tilt, which they consider themselves a family entertainment center, but there's only a few entertainment venues inside it. My particular one, which is one of the reasons why I came up with the name Masquerades, it has multiple different things going on. The primary thing is, or the primary entertainment is roller skating.
Okay.
Old school roller skating.
I gotta stop you right here. You say Masquerades, it came from, but a little bit. We're looking at the logo here. A little bit came from your New Orleans background, right?
Touche.
We got to give credit where it's due, right?
Touche. Exactly. You know, I got to keep the roots somewhere.
Exactly.
Around, you know?
Right. Yeah. Then got first station here. You said in '97, but got to go to the roots a little bit. So there's going to be roller skating and all that. It's going to be one of the things that'll be in this entertainment center.
One of many, yes. Another primary entertainment thing is going to be electric go-karts.
Okay.
That's secondary entertainment.
We don't got those in Minot.
But you do have a go-kart company here.
Yeah.
They only come during the fair, but there is a go-kart one.
Okay.
And
then some people use a regular car. It seems like you're always driving by an accident in town, so I guess we got that going on too.
Exactly. I wasn't in a hurry to go nowhere. And another one is the online video gaming competition.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been to Vegas. Yes, e-gaming. Okay. I don't know if you've been to Vegas lately, but they do e-gaming competitions.
Right.
From gaming consoles to computers. I think that's another way to keep the younger or the millennials engaged. Yeah. Whereas old school people like myself, we can roller skate while mom and dad.
So we're calling this e-gaming, but I believe it's also classified as esports as well, right?
Correct.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is completely off the top of my head right now. Did Minot State roll out something to do with esports recently?
They do. Minot State does have an esports team.
Wow.
Minot State actually has an esports curriculum along with Jamestown, and I believe there's a college, I think it's Bismarck State. They have e-gaming curriculum at their school.
Right. So I'm just pulling something up online, which I think really supports what you're wanting to do.
Yes.
They have an esports club, League of Legends team that completed an undefeated regular season. This is from summer of 2022. So just over a year ago, completed an undefeated regular season in Division C of the GG Leagues. Summer 2022 season, they played in the semifinals, which is crazy.
Yes.
Because nobody goes to college and then says, okay, I'm going to get into gaming now and I'm going to be good at it don't matter what level you're at. If you want to be good at something, or if you want to be competitive at something, you're going to have to be good. So this is really kind of
there's money in that. In esports, there's money in it.
It's a whole...
They're making money in it. They're getting paid to play.
Which is crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
And mom and dad always said, you keep playing those video games, you're going to be working at McDonald's flipping burgers.
Talk about it, yes.
And here they're getting paid money.
Getting paid a lot of money, 6 and 7 figures, man. It's a lot. So yeah, I reached out to Minot State, I don't know if I could say their name, but their club, their esports club. And spoke to their head guys. Yeah. And they love the idea. They'd love to host their events and competitions at this arena. So this is a pretty sizable facility.
Right. So there's going to be an actual venue that will be like technology-wise will actually be set up for the esports gaming, because that's got to be. I'm not 100% familiar with esports gaming and everything. I know the general idea, but you have to be careful about where you go. Not any space works for it. You don't just need a big arena, because the technology-wise, there's a lot of stuff that has to go on to make it suitable.
Yes, and there's a lot of legalities with it. There's certain esports games you can't pay to play.
Okay.
So that's a very fine line. I got a lawyer, actually 2 lawyers behind it to make sure I don't cross those lines.
Right.
But yes. But during the off season, when the college is out, and they want to keep their practice up, they're going to come there and play.
Right.
And not only that, they could see the high schoolers who are getting ready to graduate to college. They get to mingle and see what's it like at a collegiate level doing esports.
Right.
So that's a huge thing for the local colleges, you know.
It is, yeah. Recruiting is always big, so it creates a channel for to be able to Minot State to recruit, but also it gives a chance for high schoolers to develop, which is an interesting thing because obviously there is. I mentioned the joke about mom or dad telling you that if you play video games too much, you're gonna be flipping burgers at McDonald's, and to be fair, I mean, if you wanted to pursue the NBA, you probably aren't. There's a very few percent of people that make it. Sorry to dash somebody's dreams out there, but it is interesting to see how some of those things can develop, and at least we're talking about it more in a competitive state there, but also just the family side of it, where you're able to go have a neat venue, a nice venue, probably got to play against a few other people, have a little bit of rivalry going. You're going to have any tournaments or anything like that going on? Yes,
we plan on having game night rollouts. So if I don't know how much you know about esports, but certain games roll out either on East or West Coast time. And when those games roll out, I'm in talks to get the rights to roll them out at a massive level.
So you're talking about when, and maybe Madden's one of the games you can't use, but when Madden 2025 is released, you're not talking about, when you say rollout, you're saying the night it's released, it releases at midnight on July, whatever. Then at the Masquerades Family Entertainment Center, people can show up there, and at midnight they can go play with their favorite player and play competitively against their friends. Oh, that'll be a blast. Someone will enjoy that.
It's all in the works. We got a lot of conversations and emails about doing so. But that is one of the major things we're looking forward to doing. Because, I mean, look, a lot of the kids these days, or I say young adults, they'll do is sit at home and play their games. If they can come to a place like this and hang out with a guy like yourself or some of the other nice folks in your office here, they're mingling. At the same time, they get to play their game. And then mom and dad can go skate. I'm also going to have a lounge spot. I call it the Les Bon Ton Roulette Lounge.
That also has some New Orleans roots there. I can't say that. We ain't even gonna try.
That's French.
Okay, there you go.
Creole, so that's French. But it's the lounge area where there's a mezzanine where you can go up and relax. You can look one side, see roller skating, other side, see electric go-karts, and then straight ahead is the gaming. I'll have TVs and everything in there so you can see. So all the action is right there. You can relax and just let Junior or Jane run around till they burn themselves out. You know?
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be food, so you're just up there eating and having a good time.
You
got it. If there's not food, it's not a party. So
let me tell you, I'm gonna have some New Orleans food coming.
Nice, that'll be good.
Specialty stuff.
We'll appreciate that. So we talked about the esports gaming, which sounds fantastic. It's something that really Minot doesn't have much support of that I know of. You got Minot State and you have some of those things, but there's not many venues in Minot that really support esports gaming, right? I'm sure there's some clubs and stuff like that, but I'm talking about a venue.
Right. There is none. There's a few local stores. And I say that, respectfully, there are smaller stores that host gaming competitions. And are not, unless you're part of one of these esports clubs, you won't know about it. A person like me, you wouldn't know. I only found that out do some R&D.
Hey, that should to our. If you're wanting to start a business, you got to do the R&D.
Yes, indeed.
Some type. So very interesting. So we talked about the esports gaming, but there's also going to be rollerblading, and from my understanding, there's actually a little bit of a need for this with some of the different competitions and stuff like that going on around town.
And let me correct you again.
All right.
There is going to be rollerblading, but we're talking old school 2x2 roller skating. I do welcome rollerblading. I'm also going to have the safety training.
See, I was terrible at roller skating growing up. I just did the blades because it was more natural for me, and it's probably because I'm just not very skilled.
Well, I will say this. You probably got strong ankles because rollerblading, you got to have some strong ankles and some strong shins. But so we got a lot of safety devices in place. We're going to have helmets and elbow and knee pads for the younger and adults who may need it.
I'd be one of them.
But we got big things in place for the roller skating. I'm part of a roller skating association, which is nationally known. So if you go to look for roller skates in the world, around the U.S., you'll see that you'll see us on there.
Okay.
As a future business.
Yeah.
We're looking to bring dance competitions, roller skating dance competitions, Pride Night, which I call for all the local schools to come in and do, show up with their high school T-shirt or sweatshirts.
Very cool.
And I'll be giving out prizes. But there's a lot of things in works.
Yeah.
And a lot of things.
Right. Yeah. So it sounds like it'd be a fun place. So something, and again, this is going, excuse me, going to areas that maybe I'm not as familiar with, but I mean, hey, we're a hockey area of the United States, and in the summer there's ice at the Mesa, but you don't got the outside ice. So you ever gonna do like rollerblading hockey? I'm sure some kids would enjoy that.
Well, and you're right. I have been contacted about doing a roller hockey league.
Okay. Not sure though.
I'm not sure because it damages the floor.
Okay, gotcha.
And as soon as I can find a fix for that,
right,
I welcome.
You're way more open to it, yeah.
Yes. So I haven't found a fix for it yet, but I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm not totally cutting it out, but I gotta find a fix because the floor is supposed to last 10 years.
Okay.
You have to.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right. That's a very big investment cost right there.
Yes.
Very interesting. So maybe potentially, maybe not hockey or rollerblading hockey, but other than that, sounds like there's gonna be a lot of time. And I've heard that there's also like roller derby clubs or something like that in town.
Yes.
That you would also be able to facilitate.
Pretty soon I'm going to start looking for my own roller derby team to represent Minot and the facility. There is a roller derby team that I've been talking to in Montana.
Okay.
There's one in South Dakota. We're looking to bring back roller derby.
Okay.
That's what we're talking, so they're still doing roller derby now, mostly out west.
Okay, but, not in Minot though?
We had a team in Minot, but my point of contact kind of, I think they moved away.
Yep, fair.
But as I know, as of today, I don't know of any person from the Minot roller derby team. Hey, reach out.
Reach out.
I'd love to talk to you.
For sure. Very cool. So it sounds like it's going to be the happening place.
And that's what I'm going for. I want it to be the new Friday, Saturday night hangout for kids. Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, there's no alcohol.
No alcohol. That was a question I was going to ask.
I want it to be a hangout spot for the kids. I mean, we got bars all over. We got, trampoline places that, we got arcade stuff. But I want a place where, in a parking lot, you see the kids hanging out. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to have security.
Right.
But I want them to be comfortable. Someplace where you'll feel comfortable dropping off your 6-year-old child and know, hey, he or she's in good hands.
Yeah, for sure. So,
that's what we're going for.
That's exciting. So we talked about kind of the process to build up to get to where you're at now. We talked about how much fun it's going to be. Sounds like it'll be a good time there.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
So where are you at? Like, in the process, we talked about the buildup of all the work you've gone through, but where are you at? You mentioned you have an investor that is invested some into the project and willing to invest more. What's the latest for you?
So that's another good question. So we are just past the halfway point to finalize the plans for a new build. Okay. Some additional funds are needed, and I'm kind of in the process of looking for some new capital investors. Okay. The bank, I do have 2 banks that are on board. Awesome. But they have some criteria that they want me to meet before they say, okay, here's your check to bring it to life. Right. Hopefully, I'm praying, or we're working towards spring break of next year. Okay. To be open. To be open. At least with the roller skating part. That's fast. Yes, we're moving right along. Man, that's awesome. We're making tracks. That's exciting. We're making tracks. Okay. Yeah. That's big. So you're have some investors looking for more to get on board. Yes. It's got to be interesting going to a bank. I mean, this is, as we mentioned, this is a Strategist podcast. We talk a little bit to entrepreneurs as well that are trying to get in business or that are, and they're encountering challenges. And so it's got to be an interesting process going to banks. That's got to be very grueling. Let me tell you, I'm a simple guy. Yeah. I don't hang out with millionaires. I don't know millionaires. I know simple working 9 to 5 men and women. To get in front of or to even get the phone number to someone who has a lot of money is very difficult.
Yep.
Very difficult. Don't know where to start. Don't know what to do. So I got to go out there and just, handshake. Just go with my guts. Hey, guess what I'm trying to do?
Yeah.
So in doing so, I went and did, as you can see, I'm wearing one of my shirts.
Oh, yeah. How do I get one?
How much money you got?
There you go.
But no, this is our first edition shirts. We got black and white t-shirts and black and white sweatshirts, and I got some hats.
You brought a hoodie, and it was white one. It was looking quite
here.
good. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
This is the front.
Yes.
And that is a hoodie.
Looks good.
And this is the back.
Okay.
Very simple.
Masquerades Family Entertainment Center.
Yes, very simple. Now the plan with this is what we call it first edition shirts, and this will go to these investors, capital investors.
So in order to get one of these, you got to be a capital investor.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Or you don't have to be an investor if you want to contribute. And if the amount is significant, we'll give you a sweatshirt.
Come on, let's give the minimum.
Exactly.
What is it? What's the minimum? How do I get one? How much do I got to give?
Well, it depends. Yeah.
Difference? Okay. It depends. He's not going to give me a number. $1,000, $2,000, $100,000.
Let me tell you, this project's a couple $1 million in Berkeley.
It is, yeah. I believe it.
Honestly, this is what me and the team was tossing around. You're looking at $5,000, $10,000.
Okay.
It sounds like a lot, but what I'm giving you with this is just something small to say, hey, thank you.
Yep.
And what that does is it'll get you into special event nights for free. Okay. I'm going to have special parking for you.
Yeah. Get your own reserved spot at the family.
Own reserved spot.
Nice.
Your own reserved lockers inside the facility. Okay. If the amount is significant enough, we're going to also allow them to put their name on lockers.
So we're saying significant, but basically you have tiers going. You have investment tiers. So if you're in this tier, then this is what you'll get. If you're in the next tier, then this is what you get, basically.
Yes. But it's only till the material run out. When the material run out, then we change the narrative just to yay. You said this was edition 1, then we're in edition 2. This is first edition.
First edition is the second edition.
Second edition is once we're open. Then it goes to skate club membership. Okay. Skate club and first edition members is two totally different. Yeah. First edition people are like our VIPs.
Oh yeah.
You helped me bring this to life, so therefore I'm gonna show you love.
Right. Yep.
Very cool. That's the simple answer for huge explanation.
Yeah, going in front of a bank, that's not something that, I can go in front of a bank for something that, of course I'm qualified to get. And you're like, man, I just hate going in there asking for anything.
It's crazy. It's easy to get in front of the bank.
Right.
It's convincing them to give you
to see the
$50,000.
Right.
You really got to have your I's dotted and T's crossed, especially if you come in with me. I only had minimum money to put in, and they're like, well, this is not enough.
Right.
You're going to need more.
Like, that's why I'm at the bank, man.
Yeah. And they say, you can get some more. And I'm like, well, don't you help out entrepreneurs in the beginning? Well, this is a very
beginning
variable business.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not guaranteed. And
right. Makes sense.
And we don't know if the people even want it. And I said, well, what if I show you proof? Well, you give me proof.
Yeah. Right. And so you found proof.
I found proof.
Yeah.
I found proof. Got an idea.
That's the entrepreneurial journey right there. Is getting told no or getting told come back and then coming back and be like, hey, I got it and more.
It fueled my fire, to be honest with you. It really got me hot. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Very cool. So we talked about banks a little bit, but investors, did the startup mindset, is that basically a source where you're able to get in front of some investors, or were you also able to find other ways to cultivate relationships for investors?
And I appreciate Mark Lyman so much for this, but yes, startup mindset was the first step for me to get in front of money holders.
Yeah.
From all of them are business owners, a few banks, some insurance, some lawyers, some insurance people come through, but I got a chance to get in front of them, and that was an excellent avenue.
Right.
And from that, it branched off. Oh, you should go talk to so and so.
That's so neat.
You should go talk to so and so. And that's how it worked. That's literally what I've been doing, going and knocking on doors. Hey, you don't know me, but my name is Larry, and I'm trying to do this. And oh,
wow. Yeah. Right. That's so neat. That's a shout out again for co-starters. If you're looking into starting a business, go hit up Mark Lyman with co-starters and check that out, because that's pretty exciting.
Excellent source. Yes.
Very good.
You need some cool entrepreneurs too, other people that could help you in your venue or your journey.
Something I'm passionate about is that right there. The entrepreneurial journey is very lonely. You go and you come with an idea and it feels like everybody in the world hates your idea, even though they say they like it, but you don't find the support. And so having other entrepreneurs that are also on a different journey, you're able to support each other and say, hey man, it's not the end of the world. You still got this. Yeah. Keep your head up. Keep your chin up.
There's a few who actually are in my corner. Some prominent business persons, my realtor Anastasia from Preferred Realtor, Sarah Burkhart from
Cornerstone.
Benchmark. She's amazing.
My bad.
They've been in my corner and helping me get things. You know, hey, you should try this, do this, do this. You know, you're on the right track. You know, they've kind of been my cheerleader, on professional wise.
Yeah,
outside my team.
Right. Yeah. You need professionals. You need other entrepreneurs. It takes a village, as they say, to get these things to happen. Very neat. So if somebody's watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, how can they support you, man?
Well, you can start by going to the website, which is masqueradesfec.com.
On what a website it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's an amazing website. Also show you support by, you'll see at the bottom of the page there's some links for some Venmos. Give us a call, shoot us an email. If you're interested in being a capital investor, give me a shout. Me and one of my team members are going to call you back or email. We'll sit down and kind of go through everything with you. We also have a Facebook page.
Okay.
Courtesy. Yes, and you can go to the Facebook page and just, like it, share it out, get the information out. So what we're trying to do now is get the most exposure to let, those big money guys know, hey, this is an excellent idea. Let's bring it to life. Right.
Looking for investors and also looking for a community that shows that they're going to support it. Because that was another criteria that you continually will have to prove.
Yes. And even if you don't want to give money, just go to the Facebook page, share it out, leave a comment, say we like it, we want it.
Right.
And, so I can show the city, the higher ups that, hey, this is what the people want.
Yeah. You got to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Indeed.
I like it. Well, Mr. Brown, thank you for coming on today. Really appreciate it. Anything you want to add as we close this out? You can go for another 10 minutes on a monologue. I don't care.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
Well, you see, back in the days. Thanks for having me, man. This is great. I'm looking forward to bringing this to life and bringing a little bit more joy and happiness to the people and folks on Minot. Even my people out at the base, because Minot was my first base.
Yeah, there you go.
I got love for y'all.
Love it. It's amazing. We always comment when we get somebody that came in through the base. It's always amazing to see how somehow, some way, they stick around. They might not always appreciate the moment that they find out they're coming to Minot, but then they seem like they enjoy Minot a little bit at least.
Yeah. Nice people here too.
Yes, very good. Well, again, thank you for coming on today. Really appreciate it. Excited to see what happens with Masquerades Family Entertainment Center. I believe that you can be found at masqueradesfec.com, as you already mentioned.
Yes.
Be sure to stop by there, leave a like. To our viewers, thank you for watching another edition of the Strategist podcast here on the Dakota and brought to you by Shock Safe and Lock. I'm Jonathan Starr. Be sure to stop by our YouTube channel, subscribe, like the video, support us, stop by mydakotan.com, subscribe to our email list, stay in touch with all the fantastic happenings we have going on at My Dakotan. Thank you for watching this episode and have a great day.